Kwabi Amoah-Forson, you are here to talk about inspiring change.
Yes.
With humanitarian efforts, because I've heard you in the green room, and you are amazing. You introduce yourself as a humanitarian, and I have to tell you, I've never known someone to do that, and I love it.
Yes.
So we have a little video about something that's happening in Costco. And then we're going to fill in once it's done. So roll that Costco footage.
What's going on, everybody? Kwabi Amoah-Forson here, your favorite humanitarian, and we're here at Costco where you can get just about anything. And we're getting tons and tons of socks. In fact, over $1,000 worth of socks for people living on the street. 31,000 people live in homelessness in Washington State, 18,000 of them living within the confines of Tacoma and Seattle. Now, we're not going to basically cure homelessness overnight, but we can ensure that no toes go cold this Christmas season with the Peace Stocking campaign. And with $1,000 worth of socks, we're gonna make a huge dent in people living on the street, helping them out for Christmas Day. Okay, so we have, how many? It's like 126 bundles of socks, and each bundle has about 5 pairs, so you do the math. 600 pairs of socks that I'll be giving out to people on the street from now all the way leading up to Christmas, and it's all thanks to the wonderful people of Tacoma and Seattle who donated to allow this amazing initiative to take place. Peace Stockings. We can make sure that at least no toes go cold this Christmas Day.
The Peace Stockings campaign was a complete success. We gave over 5,000 pairs of socks to people on the street. You know what, Amanda? You know, before I was a humanitarian, I was a mental health case manager in my early 20s. And while doing this work, I learned about what the essential needs were for people living on the street. And number one thing was socks, right?
Here we go.
Was socks. So we want to make sure in this campaign, this last campaign, that we were making sure that everyone, at least in Tacoma, had a warm pair of socks for Christmas Day. It was great. There's roughly around 4,300 people experiencing homelessness every day in Tacoma. So I feel like we made a great impact.
Absolutely. So when you look at the community, what are the biggest resources that people in the community need right now?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about resources is, especially essential resources, is that anywhere you go, whether it's Tacoma, whether it's Washington State, whether it's Cambodia or Mongolia, people need the same things. We're talking about food. We're talking about water. We're talking about clothing, shelter.
Basic needs, Maslow's theory.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we need right here. There are people who are suffering and struggling with these essential needs. So anything we can do within our power to ensure that people have those things, we're in better shape as a community.
Absolutely. Are you working on a new campaign that maybe you can tease us about?
I am.
Okay.
So I'm in the beginning stages, ramping up for the All Youth Can Eat campaign. This is a campaign I've done for the last 3 years here in Tacoma and now in Seattle, so that between July 1st and September 1st, on every single day of the week, there's a restaurant where youth and college students can eat for absolutely free. We've had generous restaurants around the Northwest helping me with this campaign to ensure that at least the youth are fed. And this year, 2025, we're extending the program to Chicago, Illinois, and Toledo, Ohio. The idea is that we can create a society where we change our culture from a culture of eating to a culture of feeding.
Oh my God, well, congratulations. That is the work that must have gone into this.
Yeah.
In terms of the memorandums of understanding, the partnerships with restaurants.
Yes.
That is unbelievable. So in this current political and social climate, oh, Kwame, we've seen a lot of division. So in your mind, because I know that you observe life, you mentor people, you have much to say about justice.
Yes.
And, you know, there's that quote that the solution to poverty is not money.
Right.
The solution to poverty is justice.
Right, right.
So what is your snapshot of our community right now, given our current administration?
Well, the time is now. The need is great. It's time for us to get together to elevate. There's been no other time than now, and no better time than now, to come together. And how we come together is honing in on the issues that create solidarity.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically we're looking at poverty as a rally point of creating this togetherness. There's no one out here, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, liberal or conservative, who's saying, yes, we want poverty. Okay, that being the case, what if we could see this as a common ill and address it together? And by doing that, we can create more togetherness. I think about like a sports team, right?
Yes.
Take the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are at their very best when they're going against a team that's difficult.
Oh, yeah.
If the team's easy, everyone kind of relaxes, they kind of lean back,
Uh-huh.
people aren't on their best, but when they're going against a team that's really difficult, the best of the best are at their best in order to defeat them. And I think that's what poverty is. I think that's what hunger is. We can rally around it to defeat it together.
Okay, yes. So we hear that there are going to be some cuts to Medicaid and also to the EBT SNAP program. We have a lot of people who are losing their jobs right now.
Yeah.
Is there something that we can start thinking about that will help alleviate hungry stomachs and people who need those resources?
Yes, I would encourage everyone in our community to think about what are their skills, what are their talents, and how can they utilize it to help other people in need. Yes, oftentimes we rely on government to make these solutions, and they do their part. But the people create the atmosphere for change, and the politicians follow our lead.
Yes.
So that being the case, I really want to put it on the people and myself to figure out what we can do to help people in need, whether that is hunger, whether that is supplying resources, medical care. We all have skills.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the solution.
You are a master of partnerships. I see you on social all the time with people that you're kind of hopping in and out of. Were you at Lens of Equity?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you have your finger on the pulse. So, what partnerships do we need to thank, and who do we need to thank? Because you've got a massive amount of people behind you.
Right. We need to thank all the restaurants involved in the All You Can Eat
right.
campaign.
That's right.
Every year that are super generous in helping to feed our youth.
That's right.
Because how can we expect our youth to be the best that they can when they're worried about where their next meal is coming from? So all the restaurants involved and all the future restaurants involved. I'd like to thank Comprehensive Life Resources, an organization I've worked with many times and helping to secure individuals who may be having mental health issues and supplying them with resources. It's very important.
Yeah.
You know, I would say that mental health is the silent epidemic. So
It is. Oh, I believe that. I do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have wanted you on the comfy couch for a while, but I want you by yourself. Last time you were here, it was with the Martin Luther King Day celebration. But I'm so happy just to have you, to get to know you. And thank you. There are a million people pulling at your time and wanting to do PR and wanting a soundbite, wanting to be with you on social, but you're here this morning.
Yes.
So promise me you'll come back.
I will definitely come back to see you, Amanda. Cityline is always a brilliant program. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, those are our producers and the people in the booth, so thank you. All right, when we come back, we are going to have Ms. Wheelchair, Washington, USA 2025. She is amazing. We'll be right back.